Welcome to Performance Juice, where we dive deep into the science of elite performance. I'm your host, Drew Hopper. Today we're going to do something different. We're going to cover over 2 hours of content in just a few minutes. We'll break down insights from our most powerful videos covering mental, strategic, and physical performance, all scientifically proven to transform your game. We'll link videos as we discuss them. They'll pop up on your screen if you want to then go get more information because that specifically applies to you. You're like, yes, that's me. We're going to keep it pretty high level and bottom line today. Before we dive in, I want to thank our sponsor, Hopstar Organic Coffee. Hopstar delivers single origin Ethiopian beans with a proprietary clean roast process. No toxins, just pure clean energy for peak performance. Use code PERFORMANCE10 for 10% off your first order at hopstarcoffee.com. Also, on our 3K coaching giveaway, time is running out. We're giving away 2 comprehensive 6-month coaching packages worth $3,000 each. There's only 9 days left to register. These can be completely virtual. I work with clients all over the world. Whether you're a mental game guru needing technical help or a technical expert dealing with physical limitations, these packages are fully customized to your needs. As a Titleist Performance Institute certified expert, I'll create a personalized plan covering all 4 dimensions. Registration details are on your screen right now at eliteperformancejuice.com/golf coaching giveaway. So before we jump in, a disclaimer, these challenges we're going to go through are organized by dimension. With that said, they overlap and they often impact each other. So think about it like a Venn diagram. They're not isolated in silos. We're presenting them perhaps in that light, but we fully understand that these are interconnected. In future episodes, we're going to dive much deeper into technical. Most of our emphasis today will be on the mental, strategic, and physical aspects. So let's set up mental first. Last Friday, I went out to play a new course that just opened, and we got paired up with an older gentleman, Jerry. He's been playing golf 50 years. And was pretty darn good from a technical perspective. He asked me a few holes in, what do you do for a living? And I told him I'm a golf performance coach. And he was curious, and so he asked me, what do you work on? What do you see out there? And I said, most golfers don't have a go-to mental game system, and that ends up impacting everything. And so I kind of started telling him that story. Long story short, he was curious, and so he asked me for an example, and I said, well, a lot of times golfers in their pre-shot routine, as an example, will think about what they want to avoid, and that's often the last thing they think about, and then they go into their shot. And so you're actually focusing on that last thing you want to avoid, and then more times than not, that results in a negative outcome or the outcome you weren't hoping for. And so I said, instead, with our BRAVR system, we're very intentional about our inputs so that we can have very intentional outputs. And so I kind of walked him through that. And within a couple of holes between shots, he came back to me. He's like, man, I can't believe I've been playing golf for 50 years and I never thought to address this part. I'm already seeing it come to life just in how I'm intentionally identifying things in a more positive way. And again, we went deeper in the conversation. I'll save that for another time. But that was a really interesting process to be paired with an older gentleman who's been playing the game at a very high level, a lot of Texas amateur events that he plays in, etc., but he has never addressed the mental side. And so obviously he asked for my business card, we're going to meet. And so that was a really positive, interesting thing. So going a step further into the mental dimension, I'm going to use a metaphor to kind of bring this to life for you. We're going to think of a bank vault. And inside of that bank vault is the flow state. And I'll link another video that we've done in the past on flow state. Most golfers they're living outside of the vault, right? They're not able to access flow state regularly or on demand, right? And if they do, then they're often washed out of the vault, if you will, due to how they respond to stress or some circumstances. And so in general, the concept here is that BRAVR is the combination, if you will, to access and maintain peak performance. In other words, in order to get into that vault where the flow state lives. And so we're going to mention that as we go through the mental challenges. So let's set it up. Let's move into it. Our first mental challenge that we've unpacked is the range to first tee performance collapse. So you're hitting it great, and then you go to the first range. or sorry, you go to the first tee from the range and something happens, right? And so bottom line here is that there's been an environment change. That environment change provokes a fear-based response or mental stress, if you will. So with that, cortisol increases, floods the system, adrenaline is also involved with that, and then because of that, you have reduced motor control precision and accuracy up to 35%. The scientific support of this, Lovallo did a study on performance anxiety and that it reduces motor skill by 35%. Baumeister also did a study, I'm going to throw these up on the screen for you, where with a cortisol surge, you have a reduction in memory capacity by 15 to 25%. And so BRAVR, this method, systematically interrupts the stress response through baseline breathing and reset techniques. The full protocol is covered in the linked video on your screen. Next, we'll move into sleep optimization. The challenge here is that poor sleep degrades motor skills, decision-making, and emotional control. The bottom line, poor sleep can reduce motor skill performance by 40% and emotional regulation under pressure by 67%. Scientific support, sleep extension research improves reaction time by 15%, accuracy of decision-making by 12%, decision-making speed by 18%, and skill retention by 40%. There is another study, 2015 study, I'll throw up on the screen, that breathing techniques reduce cortisol by 23% within 3 minutes. So the solution here, complete sleep optimization protocols, including temperature manipulation, light exposure, caffeine timing, and subconscious programming strategies are covered in the full video linked on your screen now. Challenge 3, I've limited warm-up time. I'm showing up with only 5 minutes before the tee time, and I'm unable to warm my body up, establish a mental baseline. So the bottom line here is inadequate warm-up prevents neurological preparation and physical preparation and increases performance anxiety. The solution, the 5-minute BRAVR warm-up protocol that establishes the mental and physical baseline and prepares your nervous system. The full breakdown is in the linked video that's showing now. Challenge 4, I lose focus during the round. I think we could all raise our hand on this one from time to time. The challenge here is neural interference. It's disrupting concentration across 18 holes. Bottom line, elite golfers show 34% less neural interference compared to amateurs. The scientific support of this is a Wang study, throw that up on the screen. Elite golfers demonstrate 34% less neural interference. Again, BRAVR systematically rebuilds focus through visualization and reset techniques, creating the same neural pathways, the same neural patterns as elite performers. The full attention control strategies are in the linked video on your screen now if you want to go deeper. Problem or challenge 5 is inconsistent pre-shot routines. Challenge is lack of systematic mental preparation and variable physiological reset between shots. The bottom line, inconsistent routines create unpredictable performance outcomes. The solution, BRAVR provides a consistent, repeatable pre-shot routine framework. Complete implementation guide is in the linked video on the screen. Our final challenge, 6, is flow state access. The challenge here is difficulty accessing and maintaining peak performance under pressure. Bottom line, during flow, prefrontal cortex downregulates while pattern recognition areas become hyperactive. Scientific support, we've got the Frontiers in Psychology study that demonstrates flow experiences show prefrontal cortex downregulation and pattern recognition activation. The solution, BRAVR, engineered to create exact neurological conditions for flow state. Full neuroscience breakdown in the linked video on your screen now. Next, let's talk about the strategic dimension. All right, challenge 1 is course management. Playing to distance rather than positioning. So you're missing the geometric advantage opportunities. The bottom line here is strategic positioning creates more scoring opportunities than raw power. The solution, opposite pin positioning strategy and geometric course management principles covered in my Ryder Cup analysis video linked on the screen. Challenge 2, shot selection based on player profile. So we're not understanding personal strengths and weaknesses, and we're attempting shots outside of our skill level. Does that sound familiar to anybody? I can say that I've done that myself. Bottom line, playing to your strengths consistently outperforms attempting high-risk shots. The solution, player profile assessment and shot selection framework. I've demonstrated this in the Bryson versus Henley strategic breakdown, the full video linked on the screen. Challenge 3, risk versus reward decision making. The challenge here is prioritizing distance or power over precision. With this, we're missing strategic opportunities through poor positioning. The bottom line, smart positioning trumps aggressive play if you care about scoring. The solution, risk assessment framework and decision-making protocols covered in the Bethpage Black strategic analysis. Video is linked on the screen. Last challenge here, challenge 4, is shot distribution understanding. The challenge is a general lack of awareness about personal shot patterns and missed tendencies. Example, if you're a fader of the ball and you had done this, you would understand the size of your distribution, X yards by X yards, and the bias, right? You might miss 80% of your shots right of the center line. So bottom line here is understanding your shot distribution. As I just mentioned, the 80% for the faders, enable strategic course positioning, providing opportunity for lower scores. The solution is shot pattern analysis and strategic positioning techniques. These are covered completely in the video linked on your screen. Next, we'll jump into the physical dimension. All right, our first challenge here is swing speed and skill development. It's 2 for 1. So challenge limited power generation and slow/ineffective skill development training. The bottom line here is bilateral training accelerates skill acquisition by 37% and improves the untrained side performance by up to 50%. Scientific support, the Carson 2013 study demonstrated that cross-education results in 35 to 50% performance improvement on the untrained side. Hinder had a 2011 study that bilateral training demonstrates 37% acceleration in motor skill acquisition. So solution here, Speed Sticks bilateral training protocol, progressive sprint program, and neuromuscular condition drills covered in the 87-day video. I'm going to put that up on the screen for you, and the bilateral training breakdown. Those videos are linked on the screen. 2 is movement pattern efficiency. The challenge here is poor rhythm and tempo and a lack of golf-specific movement training. Bottom line, slow motion practice and bilateral practice enhances neural pathway formation by 43%. I think it's Shmuloff, the scientific support. I always butcher that name, I apologize. 2012 study, slow motion motor rehearsal enhances neural pathway formation by 43%. The solution here, the Dr. Kwan rope drill. I'm going to put that on the screen for you. For rhythm and tempo development, mirror training protocols, that's super slow-mo position training, and movement pattern optimization covered in the bilateral training video. I'm going to link those on the screen. Athletic conditioning, our final challenge here is insufficient explosive power and limited neuromuscular coordination. The bottom line, systematic physical training amplifies practice effectiveness and skill retention. Our solution here is our progressive sprint program, our athletic conditioning protocols, and the golf-specific strength training covered in our 87-day study results. Full link on the video there for you. Think of your golf performance like a combination lock. Each dimension, mental, strategic, physical, and technical, is part of that combination. BRAVR is your key to the mental dimension, giving you systematic access to your peak performance vault. We've covered a lot today, but remember, these are just the highlights. Each full video goes deep into implementation, giving the exact protocols, scientific backing, and step-by-step strategies to transform your game. Your best golf is waiting. The combination is in your hands. Don't forget, only 9 days left to register for our 3K coaching giveaway. 2 complete 6-month packages, fully customized, virtual or in person. Register at eliteperformancejuice.com/golf coaching giveaway. Until next time, stay elite.